A few days ago I was stuck for a subject for this video until I remembered that it was the beginning of November. And in German history, the 9th of November is a very important date. In 1848, one of the leaders of the March Revolution, Robert Blum, was executed. In 1918, in the last days of the First World War, the November Revolution took place. In 1923 came the failed Beer Hall Putsch, Hitler's attempt to seize power. In 1925, the SS was founded. In 1938, the Nazi pogroms against the Jews reached their climax. And in 1989, the Berlin Wall came down, which means that the 9th of November 2014 is the 25th anniversary of that event. I've mentioned this already in my Berlin series, which you might like to see if you haven't done so already, but I'd like to tell the story here as well. So, let's set the scene. The Cold War is coming to an end. Most East European countries have started to open up to the West, with only East Germany lagging behind. Berlin is inside East Germany, but half of it, West Berlin, belongs to West Germany. Well, sort of. It's actually a very complicated arrangement, but I'd be here all night trying to explain it. West Berlin has had, since 1961, fortifications all the way around it. The bit that goes through the middle of Berlin is the infamous Berlin Wall. East Germans aren't happy though, and thousands of them are leaving their homes and travelling through Czechoslovakia or Hungary to Austria and then on to West Germany to start a new life. Meanwhile, back home, thousands more East Germans are staging peaceful demonstrations demanding their freedom. It's clear things can't continue the way they are. The East German government has attempted some reforms, but these are baby steps. The old leader Erich Honecker has been deposed and a new government post has been created. Günther Schabowski is the country's first press spokesman and is tasked with hosting the country's first press conferences. Basically, the East German government had no experience of dealing with a free press. It showed. The details of exactly what happened next, and particularly who knew what when, are disputed, but it does seem likely that the whole thing was just a monumental blunder. The East German government had been working on new visa regulations which would allow East Germans to leave East Germany and go directly to West Germany. But this was to be permanent. There was to be no turning back. The decision was taken to announce these new regulations on the 10th of November. Schabowski, though, wasn't at the meeting when this was decided. So, on the evening of the 9th of November, just before the famous press conference, Günther Schabowski was handed a press release about the new regulations. To this day, he maintains that nobody ever told him there was an embargo on it. During the conference, Schabowski was asked a question about visa regulations. Halfway through answering that question, he suddenly remembered he'd been given a press release. So, he read it out. The press release, though, was very vaguely worded. Private persons wishing to travel to West Germany, it said, would be given visas to do so immediately and with no questions asked. The obvious next question was, when does this all come into effect? Schabowski couldn't find a date, and so replied that as far as he knew, immediately, without delay. Within minutes, the world's press agencies had the story and journalists wasted no time in misinterpreting the facts. 20 minutes later, West German news was incorrectly reporting that the border was open. East Germans flocked to the border crossing points, expecting to be let through. One of these was Bornholmer Straße in Berlin. The border guards weren't expecting this. They hadn't been given any orders and had no idea the regulations were about to change, but the people kept coming. Eventually, their commanding officer, Harald Jäger, took the decision to open the gates simply to prevent a riot. By midnight, all the crossing points were open. As I said, a lot of the details are disputed. But it does seem that the last act of the Cold War, the final nail in the coffin of the Iron Curtain which had divided Europe for decades, was all a mistake.